we are going to do that live right now. So this may not be the quickest snack you'll ever eat, but it will still be enjoyable. All right, first thing we're going to do, because we're going to get ready to make our hollandaise sauce, and we don't want it too hot, we're going to turn on our handy dandy. Oh, guess what? Works so much better if you plug it in. Oh, also works better if I have my lavalier light microphone on. Aha! So, to repeat, happy National Eggs Benedict Day. We are going to make ourselves we're going to make ourselves some eggs Benedict. And while that doesn't sound like much of a snack, that's what we're going to pretend it is. So, okay, we're going to turn it on. We don't want it too hot. This is something that I've learned is that you want this to kind of simmer slowly. You don't want to just fire it up and melt it all down quickly. All right, so while that is doing its thing, we're going to make actually not just a gluten-free, but also it's grain-free as well. We're going to make a called a keto bread. I happen to like it. My son, who is my IT guy, he did not like it, even a little bit. He said it was terrible. He called it an abomination. I didn't mind it. Maybe because I'm gluten-free and I don't eat regular bread anyway. So anyway, to make that, all we need to do is we take 3 tablespoons of almond flour. I happen to prefer Kirkland just because I love Costco. I like what they stand for. I like who they are. I like to shop there. So there's that. And to that, we are going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Forgot to get my 1/4 teaspoon out. If you're here hanging out, would love to know where you're watching from because I get people from all over the world and it always just is fun. And if you're also out there and you don't want to tell me that, tell me your favorite way to eat eggs. Because that's always interesting to me too. So we just need a pinch of salt. So we're going to go pinch like that. I don't cook with much salt. The hubs is a type 1 diabetic, so we avoid that as much as we can. Do that. Now we're going to add an egg. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now we're going to squeeze the lemon in a little bit later. Because we're making hollandaise, which is not as hard as some people think it is. At least the recipe I have. It's amazing. So now that we've got that, oh, you know what I did forget? I need a tablespoon of butter. And I need it melted. So I'm going to ask my IT guy to come back in. He loves when I do this. Although he tells me I could just go over and do what I need to do. But I hate walking off camera for you guys, even though I'm off camera right now. So can you run that for about 12 seconds? 12 seconds, how to do it. Should melt it down, but keep an eye on it. And while he's doing that, I'm going to stir in the rest of this. And then when that is melted, we're going to pour that in this mix. It's hard to think of everything you're going to need. Would you get me a little spatula, please? And in this particular case, I don't know if you've ever done this, but kind of saves time and waste, to be honest. Although this one doesn't have any on it because it was frozen when I used it. That'll work. I'm going to take just a tiny bit of butter from my regular butter. And the last time I made this, I did not grease the ramekin, and it was kind of hard to get out. So I'm going to do that this time. And hopefully that will make it a lot easier. You don't need much, just maybe a little over a teaspoon. And to swirl my butter, it's starting to melt and burble a little bit. You want it hot, but not boiling, because we're going to be putting it over eggs. You want it warm enough to emulsify with the eggs, but not so hot that it cooks them. You don't want scrambled egg hollandaise. All right. I'm going to turn that down even more. There, set its lowest setting. Hopefully that will. All right, so we're going to wipe our hands off. And again, I'll ask again if anybody's out there and they want to tell me where they're watching from or their favorite way to eat eggs, because it is National Eggs Benedict Day, which happens to be my favorite way to eat eggs. So I'm going to finish mixing this up. Put this away. Put this over here with it. Kind of clear the decks, if you will. Pour the butter in. Yeah, that's a little better texture than we had last time too, so that's nice. All right, I am gonna turn this off for now and move it to the side so it doesn't overcook and it stays nice and warm. And we're gonna pop this in there. I'm gonna have the IT guy pop it into the microwave, and we're gonna see how this works. It worked really well last time, like I said, and last time I used a bigger ramekin, and it was a lot bigger. This is a little smaller. It's more like the size of an English muffin, easy for me to say. So I'm going to have him put that in there for 90 seconds. And while that's going on, we're going to separate some eggs. Now, I'm going to save the egg whites, because what I'd really like to try to do, I have a recipe for cloud bread. That's another gluten-free bread that I've been very hesitant to make. I don't know. Some things intimidate you. You know that? You know what I mean? So cloud bread is one of those things that has kind of intimidated me. So I don't know. We'll see. If people are hanging out, maybe I'll make it on camera for you guys. And you can watch me do it and see if I do it right. Because the truth is, I don't care if I make a mistake on camera. I don't want to hurt myself. I don't want to hurt anybody else. But, you just do the best you can. So what you need for the hollandaise is you need 4 egg yolks. So I'm going to pop that egg yolk in there. Put the egg white in there. And I do this with purpose because I'm also very good at sorry. I do this in steps because I don't want to mess things up. I'd like to have those yolks or those whites clear. And if I break a yolk, that won't work. So whenever you do something, because with the cloud bread, you have to whip it up. So Our 90 seconds is up with our bread. So he's going to grab that for me and put that. There's egg yolk number 2. Two more to go. Yes, I could do this beforehand, and I have sometimes. But I've also found that most people want to see you do it. They want to, the thing is, people got to know it doesn't always look perfect like it does on TV. This is real life. I really make this stuff. I really eat this stuff. I really try it. If I do something different, I don't mind making a mistake on camera. That's why I could never be a chef. I am not enough of a perfectionist to make that happen. So I'd be kicked out probably the first week out of culinary school for not being perfect, or for not even attempting perfection, to be honest. Because to me, food is love. Food is a love language. I always say, if I love you, I'll cook for you. So if I've cooked for you, or I've given you food that I've cooked, please know that there is a lot of love behind that. So, all right. And here is egg yolk number 4. All right. So we are ready to go to the next stage. All right. Put this stuff in the sink. I have a bit of a mess here, so I'm going to sop that up because we're going to use that cutting board for other things in a little bit. Since it's eggs, we're going to go ahead and use some soap to clean ourselves up. I'm told if I'm on this side, you guys can see me, so we'll do that for now. There we go. Okay. Put this back on the hot spot. Going to put these egg yolk or egg whites to the side because we don't need them right now. We've done our keto bread, so we can move on from that. Move on to our hollandaise sauce. We've got our 4 egg yolks in there. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to... Hi, Suzanne. Or Susan, excuse me. Susan and Harley, good to see you. If you're up for it, you want to tell me what part of the world you're watching from. And the other question we're asking today is, what's your favorite way to eat eggs? Believe it or not, this looks like an orange, but it's a lemon. It is a Meyer lemon. My favorite kind of lemon. And that's what we're going to use to... So we're going to squeeze here. Sometimes they have a lot of seeds. That's why I use one of these. And I learned something. I used to think you put it in like this. If you want to get the most juice out of it, truthfully, you turn it like that. And I don't know if you can see, but it's a weird angle. It feels wrong, to be honest, because I've never done it this way until recently. And when somebody told me that, I was like, you're kidding me, right? And you get about twice as much juice. So the reason I use Meyer lemons is because they do have an almost orangey taste to them. And I love that taste. It makes the hollandaise taste so much better. I can't even tell you. So now this is going to be way more than a tablespoon, which is all I need. And also, you can make this in a blender, but I like it better. The last time I made it, I did it in a blender. It just didn't have the same consistency as putting it into the food processor. So that's why I use the food processor. Grab this back. Okay. So I still ended up with a seed in there, but I can avoid one seed. Well, maybe I can't. All right. So there it is, going in there, 1 tablespoon. I'm just going to put a tiny little bit more because I wasn't quite to the top. Okay. Now we're going to put this on the top here. And we are going to turn this on. It's going to get really loud, so I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn that on, and then I'm going to take this butter, and I'm going to drizzle it in there after about 30 seconds. So I'm going to go about 30 seconds. Like I said, it's going to get really loud. Oh, it actually isn't as loud as my blender. Sorry. So I'm going to go about 30 seconds, and let this just mix and mingle, and it gets a little light and lemony colored. And it's lovely. And then I'm going to take this out, and we're going to just gently and slowly pour the butter in. All right, we've hit our 30 seconds. You know what? I am going to be on the safe side. This is a little wider, so I'm going to pour that in there. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm just going to kind of drizzle it in. Do a little bit at a time. A little more. Starting to sound right. Now, the thing about hollandaise sauce is you are supposed to use it pretty quickly. Now, it says within the hour, so we've got time. I'm not going to take near that long. Just putting it in a little bit at a time so it has time to incorporate. And there we go. All in. Okay, now I'm going to rinse this out. We're going to stop it. And now I'm going to start this back up. Because now I need it to get warm enough so we can make our egg. So, hello, Rosalinda from Salinas, California. Oh, I'm in Ohio. Today is National Eggs Benedict Day. So we're making a quick Eggs Benedict. Some of the steam came out onto the plate. We're gonna take care of that real quick. You know what? I made this in a bigger one. I like it in the smaller one. Puffed up more. Makes me happy. Right now we're going to boil some water because poached eggs are really, really hard. Now, I have heard, and I'm going to try this, that if you steam your egg instead of poach it, it works out just as well, and it's so much less effort. So, I'm going to get a spoon here. Give our hollandaise a taste. Oh, you guys, that tastes so good. I wish you could taste that. And the thing is, you can use either salted. If you want it salty, use salted butter. If you want it a little more lemony, use unsalted butter. And some people, for a little kick, will put a pinch of cayenne in there. So several ways you can do that. I have a lid around here somewhere. There it is. I'm going to put that lid on there so it gets to boiling, or simmering at least, sooner. All right, and while we're waiting for that to happen, I'm going to go ahead and open up this keto bread. Kind of looks a little bit like cornbread, to be honest, to me. Smells very eggy, though. It does have an eggy smell to it, but it's got a nice texture. It's got like a puffy texture, which is kind of nice. If you've ever had gluten-free bread, it's dense. It's very, very dense. To prep we're going to put our egg into a strainer like this. You can do it a couple of ways. If you're somebody who uses this, you can spray it with this. I know some people don't like that. If you don't like that, you're not a fan of those things, grab yourself some oil, put it on a pastry brush, and put it in there. I don't use sprays a lot, but there are some things I use it on. And this is going to be one of them. So I will spray that in my sink so I don't make a mess. Like I said, you do you, boo. Whatever works for you, that's what I want you to do. All right, looks like we're burbling, simmering there. So we're going to lay that right there. We're going to crack our egg right into there. Oh, burn myself with steam. That is no fun. Okay. Not burned. I just got a little warm. Okay. So I'm going to check that. I'll check it a couple of times. I think we're good. We'll leave it up there. All right. And while I'm waiting for that, like I said, we're going to look about 3 minutes and check it and see how it's looking. Put that over there. Get that out of the way. We're not using that, so I'm going to put it away. Like I said, I do a lot of these experiments in real time because if they work out, great. But if they don't, I do want people to see that everybody makes mistakes. We all mess up, you know? I have about 1 to 2 inches on the bottom of that pan. And again, you're supposed to put a lid on it. It just doesn't cover all the way. So now I'll be honest. Sometimes I eat eggs Benedict and I just put them on tomatoes. These are some lovely tomato on the vine that I got from the grocery store. They're actually, you can tell it's getting to be warmer because tomatoes are one of those things that start to look much better. Now I've got some planted outside. I'm so excited. There's nothing better than a tomato out of the garden. I don't know about you, but I love a fresh tomato slice. With some salt and pepper and a little bit of good olive oil on it. Ooh, or maybe a little olive oil and balsamic. Yum! And then we could keep going. We could make it into, caprese. We could make it into whatever we want. All right. I'm feeling nosy. We're just at about 2 minutes. I've never done it this way. Ooh, I think about 30 more seconds and we might be done. So I'm going to let that go. I'm actually going to turn it off because I know it's still very, very hot. So, and I could have done 2, but it's kind of late in the day to eat 2 eggs and then try to eat dinner. So I'm going to use this more as a snack than anything else. And there's our other 30 seconds. So we've gone about 2.5 minutes. I'm going to check that to see if there's any wiggle in the white. There's still a little bit of wiggle. So I'm going to go ahead and recover that. It's still burbling away here. So I'm going to give it about another 30 seconds, and then we're going to turn it out, see how it looks. So, oh, you know what I did forget? Hey, IT guy, can you grab me some Canadian bacon, or as Canadian, my Canadian friends call it, ham, out of the refrigerator, please? Forget one of the major components. It is in that drawer indeed. Are we not finding it? Ah, there it is. Woohoo! Okay. Silly moi, right? Normally I would warm this up, but I think the egg will do that for me, and the hollandaise, so it'll be lovely and wonderful. Just gonna need one little piece. All right, now, moment of truth. Is it gonna come out of there? Let's find out. Okay. It looks pretty well cooked. Oh, got a little bit of spillage out the bottom there, but nothing like when you poach. You don't, you know how you have all that stuff. But all right, I'm going to bring it into frame so you guys can see. It comes out easily. Oh no, it didn't. Okay. Let's see. I don't need the glove anymore, but I am going to just kind of go around the edge here. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm just kind of going around the edges. Hopefully that will allow me to plop it on out of there. Not completely cooked. Not my favorite thing to find out. So what I would do with this, so we've learned something here. That did not go well. As you can see, it's really undercooked. So I'm going to pop this in the microwave for about 30 seconds. Oh, it fell off on my way to the microwave. But, okay, so we're going to cook it up for 30 seconds. We'll put a little salt and pepper on it. I'll tell you how it tastes. So, well, that was disappointing. Actually, that could be partially my fault. I probably should have left it in there for another minute on, you know, with everything on. So, live and learn. So I will adjust my timing for that to be a little bit longer in there. So. Oh, again, I think the steaming also left it to the point where it's there's a lot of water in it. Just so, hi Barb, welcome in. We did an experiment today with eggs Benedict, since it's National Eggs Benedict Day, and it did not work. It did not go to plan. Let's put it that way. We cooked eggs. We steamed them. They kind of got stuck, even though we put some oil in the pan. And it didn't cook. We should have cooked it much longer than we did. So anyway, but the hollandaise turned out beautifully. So I'm going to drizzle that on there. Like I said, I used the salted butter, so it doesn't even need any salt. I did cook it a little bit in the microwave because I can't stand a white part of the egg that isn't cooked. So here we go. We're going to take ourselves a bite, and yes, the yellow is not runny like it's supposed to be. So not one of my better experiments, to be honest with you. Tomorrow is National Cheese Ball Day, and we are going to make 2 different cheese balls. We're going to make one kind of it's an American thing, because I don't think one of the cheeses that we're going to use is actually used anywhere but the United States. And then the other one is going to be in honor of my brother because it's his anniversary. I'm telling you, that hollandaise can make just about anything taste good. But, so there you go. Keto bread, homemade hollandaise, which I will, when I'm done, I will put the links to the hollandaise recipe in the description and in one of the comments. And like I said, tomorrow we're going to make cheese balls. Would love for you to subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow for snack time then.